What's going on, guys? Distinguished Fox here, and welcome back to my channel. We are now talking about Doom 3 BFG Edition here through the backwards of compatibility here on the PlayStation 5. So, all I can say is this. This is one of my favorite Doom games of all time. I do have others, but Doom 3 is an amazing game. Now, by all means, I think when it comes to FPSs in general, other than old school or new school alike for the FPS genre, Doom 3 is one of those games to where it is a technical prowess powerhouse of a game. Now, I do remember playing this game back on the original Xbox. Never played it on PC back in 2004. And while I can say about this game on that original console, it was very claustrophobic. I mean, it was much more enclosed from that of the BFG edition, and I'll tell you the reason why. It's because everything was a little bit more narrow-based. And basically, you had to constantly use your flashlight to know where you were going. Now then, we're going to fast forward here now, is that I believe it was in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. They re-released the game, and they called it the Doom 3 BFG Edition, which they released on the Xbox 360, the PS3, and PC. Now, I will tell you one thing, is that the gameplay, as you see here, is in fact the BFG Edition for Doom 3. It's not the Xbox, original Xbox version of the game. While there are certain areas within the BFG edition are a little claustrophobic, it's not as bad as it was on the original port on the first Xbox. But the game is still, however, its original platform. Its original state as the game is. They did improve some really good dynamic lighting and overall gameplay, different gameplay mechanic in a way, to where since you no longer have to constantly flip your flashlight on and off with your hand, it is now mounted against your armor. But you are still able to turn the flashlight off through, I believe, it's the L2 button with your on PlayStation or Xbox. I can't really say what it is on PC. So that way that's all I can tell you about that. Now, what I thoroughly enjoyed about Doom 3 more so is the fact that, for what I understand, the story kind of reverts back to that of the original story from that of Doom 1993 back in that time. And so that's all I can tell you, because I don't know much about the story other than that from what I just previously put some knowledge in you, so that way you know what's going on. But overall, I think Doom 3 did an amazing job of not just of its dynamic lighting and some graphical improvements and vice versa, but now that's the reason why this game is such a technical powerhouse to a certain extent, to a certain standard of this game itself, and in particular, is because not just of it being an FPS as it is. It has a good standpoint to where it still feels like that of an not just an FPS as it is. It's the fact that it's still a Doom game to its own presence of the game itself. It's the fact that, it's a little bit more modernized, not really too modernized as from what Doom Eternal or Doom 2016 did, but it's like I said, it is still a bit of a retelling of a story from that of Doom 1993, but, going back to Doom 3 itself, it's the weapons. You have your pistols, obviously, you have your shotguns, you have your SMG or assault rifle. I mean, you have all these weapons from that I feel so much similar to the weapons that you used in Doom 2019, or 2019? No, I think it was... No, that's right. In 2019, I believe, Doom Eternal, and then you had Doom 2016. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, can't talk today. So those games were a little bit more modernized because it still had some old school elements to it as well, which was amazing, which I really enjoyed. Now, I can tell you one thing. I did not like Doom Eternal very much at all. I'm just going to put this in there real quick. And I will tell you one reason why. It felt like a Super Mario simulator. Because there was a lot of jumping. So that's the only reason why I did not enjoy Doom Eternal. Now, while Doom Eternal was still an amazing game as it was, but I don't need to repeat myself. Now you know why. Now, going back to Doom 3, I enjoyed everything all about it. I enjoyed its combat. I enjoyed its horror atmospheric infrastructure. It worked really well, I thought. And it was not just that. It was the fact that, it's like... I really can't say how much more I enjoyed Doom 3 as a whole. As an FPS as it is. I think it has to do with the fact that, Doom 3 was definitely one of those games where not just what it is or as a game, it's the fact that, I love the way how it looks. I like the way how it feels. And, with its gunplay, it's as smooth as I ever played in a Doom game. I mean, yes, granted, with the other old school games that we've had back in the past, or the newer ones that we have now in this new decade of FPSs, it's pretty solid. The gameplay is really solid, and I really like the fluidity of it. It's really well done. And so I think id Software did an amazing job of what they want to do with Doom 3. And, I do like the fact that, they did a lot of interesting elements of what they wanted to do in terms of not just the gunplay or the horror atmospheric infrastructure that the game implements. It's the fact that they did an amazing job of what the enemies would look like. They are not pixelated from that of Doom 1993. They are more realistic in a way to where they kind of wanted to make the enemies more realistic in Doom 3 because that's what they wanted to do. Like, hence the reason why I said, that's why Doom 3 is it's a technical prowess. It really is. I really think that's true to its core of the game itself as well because of that specific reason. Doom 3, it just does so many things that I never really thought what was going to be possible in this type of, I guess I would say, technological standpoint. Not just because of the consoles and not just because of PC themselves, but it just looks amazing. I love the way how they did the dynamic lighting. It's scary atmosphere, so to speak. They did a lot of good implementation on those two core mechanics within Doom 3, and I think that's what made this game even more awesome. I love Doom 3. I love FPSs. I love FPSs to a whole new level because it's not just because of Doom 3 alone as a game as it is. It's the fact that we have come so far of what FPSs can do for us as gamers or as consumers to know what these games could possibly look like on today's newer technology, whether if it's on PC or on console. And that's why I say, Doom 3 did such an amazing job of its technical prowess of a game. Because if I remember correctly, and to my understanding, Doom 3, not just of a powerhouse as the game is, it's the fact that a lot of people, I thought, maybe were expecting just a little bit more, I think. I'm trying to be a little objective here, so... Now, I will talk a little bit about the gameplay in Doom 3, and I feel like this needs to be just a little bit somewhat addressed, because I feel, when I first played Doom 3, okay, I'm like, okay, this is a little too slow. And then I finally figured it out. Doom 3 was never meant to be a game like other Doom games that we had before it or after. Those other Doom games that we've had before or after in this new generation of hardware are much more faster paced. Doom 3 is meant to be a slower paced FPS. And the reason why for that is because the horror aspect of the game itself. Not just because of the story of Doom 3, it has to do with what they wanted to do to implement the original storyline from Doom 1993 and make it a little bit more modernized into Doom 3, but being it much more of a technical powerhouse or prowess, as it were, because of that reason. That's what I think, anyway. I mean, by all means, you can do whatever you want, put out your opinions out there. That's fine. I'm more than willing to hear what other people's opinions are, because that's what makes these types of commentary videos are meant to be. They are meant to be somewhat maybe subjective or objective, no matter what kind of a game it is, or whether if it's a movie or a book or whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to be somewhat objective to something so that way you know what you want to talk about. And the reason why I like making these videos is because I never really thought how far it would come for me to make these types of videos. I have other videos on my channel that I never really thought would get any type of viewership at all. I do have some videos that have pretty high viewership, and I haven't had any comments lately, but that's fine. I'm not really looking for any types of profit or anything. I'm just doing this to have fun. And that's what this is all about for me. I'm just doing this to have fun. So, all I can say is that Doom 3 did an amazing job on its infrastructure, its sound quality, its the gameplay of the guns, the BFG. Big fucking gun. So, yeah, what more can you really say about a Doom game, really? Because you got to think of it this way, that, how far... You got to think of it this way, though, too. It's like, we have come this far in terms of these types of games. From old school to what we have now. It's amazing of how far it's come. And I find that fascinating. And that's why I'm so, and here's another thing I will readily admit. I am very passionate when it comes to video games. I mean, yes, it is my niche. It is my thing I love doing. I have a lot of fun doing it. I have a lot of fun playing the games that I play. You have your Mass Effects, you have your Assassin's Creed, you have your Dooms, you have your Quakes. I mean, you have all these different types of genres. But I'm telling you, man, it's like you want to be able to have fun with these games that you play. And that's a good thing, though, too. But overall, Doom 3, I can't say enough about this game. I think it's just one of those games to where it's a game that will definitely go down in history. It already has, actually, other than the previous ones. Like Doom 1993, Doom 2, Final Doom, Doom 64. We've had different iterations of the Doom games on different other platforms as well. So, but that just goes to show you of how far this Doom saga or Doom series has come. Even the newer ones, like Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal. And so, yeah, it's amazing what these companies can do. I mean, id Software particularly, or Bethesda. So, yeah. But all I can say is this. Do I recommend Doom 3? Absolutely. Like I said, this is the Doom 3 BFG edition. So, like I said, it's one of the better versions, I think, of the game, rather than from what the original Doom 3 was back on the original Xbox port of the game back in 2004. So, that says that kind of says something, in my opinion. So, But yeah, Um, I'm trying to think of what I really want to say here before closing. So I don't know. I just think that Doom 3 it just delivered for me. It delivered in all fronts, not just because of its gameplay, not just because of what it does as a to a technical standpoint of what this game was capable of doing by running on maybe higher end of hardware to a certain extent, but either or, it's just amazing of how far this game has gone, or vice versa. So, but yeah. But I hope everyone has a good evening. Have a good night. This is Distinguished Fox here. Have a great one. And peace.